So here Nichiren Daishonin is explaining, beginning to explain, that he is the person with a capital P who first spreads the ultimate truth, and is able to do so because he is one with the law. This is where this explanation begins. So of course it's a fact, isn't it, that without the person, the law would remain unknown to mankind. Even though it's existed eternally, it would remain unknown. And therefore, human beings would suffer eternally. So in the same way, in a general sense, there must always be persons with small p who perpetuate the law after the person with a capital P has begun to teach it. This emphasizes, therefore, the principle of the person and the law, which is an important Buddhist principle in Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism, and in Japanese is called Ninpo Ikka. Ninpo, I-N-I-B-O, Ikka, I-K-K-A. Ninpo Ikka. Nin means a person, or plural, persons. Either a person with a capital P, the person, or person, small p. And po is the same as ho, in terms of the pronunciation of the word ninpo rather than ninho. Ninpo, ho, which equals the law. And ikka means originating from the same source or entity. Originating from the same source or entity. In other words, the person and the law, ninpo, originate from the same essence or entity. Therefore, the Dai-Gohonzon and all Gohonzons embody the person and the law. And this is why, emphasized by the fact that Nichiren Daishonin put the character Nichiren below the characters Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo down the center of the Gohonzon. It emphasizes that the person and the law are contained in the one object of worship. So this is incredibly important for our practice, which I'm sure you understand. If we viewed the Gohonzon just as the law, it would be very difficult to understand our practice to the Gohonzon and what it was for and how we can possibly achieve it. Because the law is intangible, isn't it? Very difficult, really, to grasp in your hand to understand the law in relation to our own ordinary daily lives. But by viewing the Gohonzon, or being able to view the Gohonzon also as the person, talking now the person with a capital P, the life state, in other words, in Buddhahood, of a human being represented by Nichiren Daishonin, the Buddha who was one with the law, it becomes tangible. And we all experience this growing tangibility as our practice proceeds, I believe. We discover the qualities of Nichiren Daishonin's life through reading the Gosho and through listening to Sensei's guidance, through relating and using the teachings and our practice of chanting Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo for our own lives and the lives of others. Our desire grows as we grow to understand what that life state of Buddhahood really is in a tangible fashion. And we, as we grow to understand it, keep on meeting aspects of the life of the Buddha which are not yet like those same aspects in our own life. And we desire to improve those parts of our life which don't match up to the Buddha's life, and we struggle and challenge our human revolution in a very natural way, as our understanding of what life in the Buddha state is really like. So of course this is an ongoing process, a very natural process of a growing theoretical understanding which we then desire to put into action in our own lives. And we achieve it because changing some aspect in our life which is not yet matching the aspect in the Buddha's state of life involves automatically, desiring to do that means that we create strong ichinen to bring about this change. And through the combination of our strong ichinen and the power of the Buddha and the law, which rests in the Causton, we find we can make that great change. Gradually, each year, we bring about this ever closer relationship, in other words, with the Causton. It's an amazing thing. Although we're doing it every day, it's easy sometimes to let the days pass without realizing how amazing this object of worship is and this practice is. So this is definitely, of course, one of the reasons why the Causton was termed by Nichiren Daishonin, and has since then been termed by high priests in succession, to be the supreme object of worship in the world. There is nothing to compare with it in any other religion. For example, if you took the Judeo-Christian religions, one of their great problems is their object of worship. Because God is a totally intangible being. Or is he a being? Or is he something? What is God? Those of us who've practiced or tried to practice Christianity are well aware of that. The intangibility of such an object of worship. So then Christianity tried to clarify this a bit more by producing a person with a capital P. The person being what was described as the Son of God, who is Jesus Christ. But unfortunately, they were not able to realize the disadvantage of saying that there was only one Son of God and no other person could match him exactly. They could try to live up to him, but they could never match him, the one and only Son of God. So immediately you have something that is outside and beyond one's grasp. And even turning to the provisional teachings of Shakyamuni, the pre-Lotus Sutra teachings, it was not stated that Buddhahood existed in everyone. Women and men of the two vehicles especially were stated as being incapable of attaining Buddhahood. So again, Buddhahood was in those days misunderstood in the light of what has been taught by Shakyamuni later in the Lotus Sutra, and of course in the latter day of the law by Nichiren Daishonin. So this was not a chance thing. Shakyamuni was trying through the years to bring his people to a point where they could actually understand the Lotus Sutra. And he took them through these various phases. But other sects who were not clear about the importance of all of Shakyamuni's teachings, including the Lotus Sutra, took a part of them, and in doing so created a situation which produced a Buddhahood, if you like, which was exclusive to certain types of people. So certainly the Causton, as such, in that it embraces both the person and the law, is supreme. In all the history of mankind, there has never been before such an object of worship with such amazing qualities.